and fast.
Hello, Youth of Purpose. Welcome to this show, an episode that I believe is going to help you transform and become a better youth, most especially in this pandemic where you need to live not as normal. You need to change the way you live, the way you do things to be able to survive and also keep moving. So 15th of July every year is World Youth Skills Day. And today we are going to be commemorating that day by discussing a topic that I do believe is going to help you get transformed. The theme for today is reimagining the youth skills in the post-pandemic era. And to discuss this topic, I have a very, very able team on my panel. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Welcome to Youth of Purpose. Kindly introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hello, viewers. Thank you very much, our moderator, and especially UBC for giving us the opportunity, hosting us here at your studio. My name's Jason Stuart Mwesigwa. I work with Roofings Group. Roofings is a quality steel manufacturer of plastics and steel construction material, which the youth, if we are to empower the youth, if we are to think of what the youth should do post-pandemic, not pandemic but even before, because we have already been there. We need to partner with them, we need to empower the youth.
Okay.
But for the purposes of the skills, I am the appointed technical delegate for World Skills Uganda, which is an association purposely created by the Ministry of Education. It is on world level. It is not just for skilling Uganda alone, but it is for creating a base where skills development, talent development should be appreciated in the whole world. So we were recruited as a member number 82 about 2 years ago.
Amazing.
And we are proud to be members of the World Skills International. We are committed to skilling the youth, empowering the youth, and we look forward to better and better.
Basically, tell us about World Skills Uganda. What do you do?
World Skills Uganda, as I've just told you, it's an infant association, which is basically supposed to look into different areas of skills. Our main garden, I would say, is the technical institutions, where we want to encourage people to go back and train, and they shouldn't be looking at this as an area where failed candidates go to find something to do. We want Uganda and the world at large to appreciate that even if you do not go through the normal education system that we know of attaining a university degree, say at age 22 or 23, you can still take the longer route, which is through skills development, but still attain even a PhD. I know when...
We shall be coming to that.
Yes.
Let me first introduce also your fellow panelists. Eddie, welcome to the show. Kindly introduce yourself to the viewer.
Hello viewers, my name is Eddie Turiatemba, the chairperson of the Public Technical Vocational Institutes in Uganda. And I am also a deputy technical delegate for the World Skills International.
Thank you so much, Eddie. So this show is proudly sponsored by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps, Office of the President. We are reminding you that loving Uganda is your responsibility and it's your first role as a Ugandan. As a citizen, you have the rights, but then also those rights come with responsibility, and that's loving your country. So being skilled and having hands-on skills to be able to do something to develop yourself is a patriotic role. So Eddie, tell us,
yes,
why is it important for us to even celebrate World Youth Skills Day?
Very, very important presenter. World Skills Day is a World Skills Youth International celebrated, and because of so many issues that relate to the youth. As you are aware, the youth are 3 times more vulnerable to compared to the adults. But also the youth, for example, in Uganda, make 77% of the population, meaning that Uganda has almost
one of the youngest populations.
Yes, one of the youngest population in the world. So meaning that we should endeavor to see the youth in the work, doing something to enable this economy be transformed. If we do not consider them to work, then this country cannot economically grow, because the bigger percentage of the population is not working. So that's the most important thing that we have to celebrate this day. Unfortunately, this day has not been celebrated in Uganda, though it has been so much celebrated elsewhere.
It's good we are celebrating it right here on Youth on Purpose.
Thank you for hosting us. And it's really good opportunity. As you imagine the youth and the young people in the whole world, you see that they are now the target in terms of having the energy, but also having the skills, the hands-on skills that are going to enable all the world to come out from the pandemic and the recovery of the economies of this or whatever country. Otherwise, all youth who are in the at their homes, they are now, most of them are redundant. But look at those who have the skills, they are working. For example, builder, I have been calling somebody to bring materials.
Wow.
To do what? To construct. So they are not seated. They are doing something. Look at electricity, those who are in electrical systems, they are working, because we cannot live without electricity, without water. So all those skills are very relevant. Now, I think that is where we come up with essential workers. Who are the essential workers?
Oh, yeah.
You see, this is the reason why we should be celebrating Youth Days, Skills Day. Essential workers come from those people who have hands-on skills that attempt to see what the people need.
To be specific on that, you see, we keep talking about skilling the young people, but are we equipping them with the necessary and relevant skills that they do need? And you give me your answer, and then I will come to Jason, who is from the private sector, and you tell us what are some of those skills that you need as the private sector. What are those employable skills that the youth can focus on to make sure that they can be employed? Kindly continue with your explanation.
Yes, presenter, actually that is the reason why we should be here. Uganda has to re-examine, has to focus on how TVET is imparting skills on the youth, because it is, the research has shown that there are some skills that are not being imparted in the youth currently that are relevant to the world of work. So many youth who come out from these institutions are not employable, I can say. Or if they are employable, they are underpaid because of their own skills. So the trainers, I mean the employers, would want to give them more trainings and more work on trainings to enable to grow and give them more maybe more payment. But this should now be done within the institutions. The institutions should now reach at a level where everyone who comes out of the institution is able to do. That is the philosophy of the philosophy of paradigm. And this philosophy is emphasizing that every youth should be able to do, and that's all. What are you able to do?
What are you doing as World Skills Uganda to make sure that the youth get those skills?
The World Skills Uganda International, what we are doing currently is to promote competitions, skills competitions. Now, in the skills competitions, we are having all institutions in the country now started regionally to have competitions in areas that we have chosen. For example, building, construction, welding, electronics, cooking, and so forth and so on. So in these competitions, they are empowered, they are given morale to know that they will move from local level at institution level, go to regional level, go to national level, because we have national skills competitions, and also go to African skills competitions. Last time we were in Rwanda for those skills competitions, and now we shall also have international skills competitions in China, Shanghai. Yes.
That's amazing. Coming to you, Jason, you're in the private sector. What do you look at when you're employing people? And I would like you to help us break the myth about hands-on skills. Young people continue to look at hands-on skills as something for people who failed in the formal education, or for even those who didn't go to schools. Can you kindly help us break that myth?
Thank you very much, our moderator. Coming from the private sector, especially from manufacturing, we need a lot of youth. We need a lot of productive youth, and in order for them to be efficient and economically make sense to skills development, they need to be trained. They need to have hands-on skills. We are, of course, receiving so many applications when, for example, when you advertise for a machine operator, you get so many people from the higher institutions, universities, the higher institutions of learning. But when you practically put these people on the machine, they only have the theoretical knowledge, which they cannot apply on the machine itself.
But again, when you're applying for jobs, you put the qualifications, you want a degree, you want a master's. So you're putting the other people who have their skills but have no academic qualifications to come on.
This is where World Skills is now, World Skills Uganda is now coming from, to try and be a motivator, to try and encourage the youth. When I go to the side of, say, the technical institutes, you'll find that now we have started actually going to the technical institutes to look for these candidates. Because in the past, what has been available is what you would get from higher institutions. And the only way we have been able to identify that actually the people coming from the higher institutions have the theoretical knowledge, but they don't have the practical knowledge, the hands-on, which we are looking for. But other than looking for these people as our workers, we still feel, now if I talk for World Skills Uganda, we feel that since we have the biggest population that is actually unemployed, either underemployed and also unemployed, through promoting skills, we can actually create jobs. These people, if they are training in those technical institutes, Kitwamba, Kiandongo, Iganga, ETC, Nakawa, Hoima, vocational institutions, all these kind of things. We are here as private sector, I'm talking also on behalf of private sector, offering them opportunities to do industrial training, industrial placements, you know, what other people call internship. It's at all levels, and we don't discriminate whether a lady or a gentleman, we give equal opportunities. But at the end of the day, when these people acquire these skills, yes, they can stay and work for us, but they can as well go out there and employ themselves and create jobs. And by creating jobs, for example, for roofings, if somebody is a machine operator, he goes out there to become a fabricator. Ultimately, that will become my customer, because they will be coming to buy the steel that I manufacture in order to go and fabricate. If somebody is a plumber, he has done his training, he has gone to do plumbing work, either in national water or privately, employing himself. Also maybe train others and employ. These are the future contractors. Actually, other than being productive as of now when they are the youth, they are creating the future for those who will be living, and even for themselves and the young ones to come. So that's why we have to encourage these people to actually become very productive. Yes.
Thank you so much.
In addition, I just want to add that about that myth, actually now many employers are not looking at the academic papers. They are not. Actually, what they are asking now are the competencies. What competencies can you offer in ensuring that the organization grows? And when they look at those qualities that you have and your experience, then they will take you. Yes.
So other than getting skills that are employable, I would like you to shed light on how the young people can acquire skills that can help them employ themselves, do entrepreneurship, and be able to, thrive. What are those skills?
I was still coming on the issue of fabrication. Right now, we are talking post-pandemic, but even during the pandemic, we have things that need to be done. For example, Uganda, the president was saying the other day, his recommendation was we need at least 42,000 beds. But maybe we may need much more. These beds are going to be fabricated in Uganda. This is an order which has not happened before. But if we have our fabricators with hands-on, how much work is that? We are promoting tourism, where you have tour guides, you have birding, all these, you can be self-employed. You have your own...
Those are the skills that I want you to bring out when I was asking.
Yes.
Because when we talk about hands-on skills, the picture that comes into the head of some young people or into our heads is metal fabrication and those things of, when you talk about tourism.
There's a lot more than just metal fabrication, plumbing. There is, for example, gardening. I don't know how many qualified gardeners we have in this country. Of course, everybody looks at that as a job. But this is a job you can do. For example, if you are maintaining a compound of, say, Hotel Africana or Sheraton or Serena, how much money?
People eat on a daily basis. Meaning, if you're dealing in food, you have daily income.
Yes, daily income, and you can actually decide your price because there is no competition in that area. You see, you go to a developed country, you find somebody is riding serious BMW, Mercedes-Benz, but what is in the boat? It's a mowing machine. He's going from home to home, cleaning and mowing, and he doesn't need to have an 8 to 5 o'clock job for a monthly pay or weekly pay. His money is, as soon as I finish my work, you pay. And they are comfortable. This is where we should be going. Somebody who is supposed to be repairing, for example, some electrical fault at UBC. He can be some trained person, not necessarily with a PhD, who will come here to look at these wires and put it right. He's immediately paid. But this, what I'm saying is, when we as World Skills Uganda, in partnership with the private sector, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, with the technical institutions, we train these people and have a real labor force that is available with hands-on. We can be able to transform these people into contractors. Oil and gas is coming. They will need so many artisans. They need so many people to joining tools here and there. We don't have the numbers. There will be a lot of work there. After, say, oil and gas is done, we have Karuma is ongoing, we are going into road construction now to extend up to DRC. There's going to be a lot of work. There will be need for a lot of bricklayers, artisans in different
drivers,
fabricators,
agricultural products.
Products. Then the tourism which we are promoting in Uganda right now is going to extend. There's a lot of tourism also the other side. We will need tour guides. There's something I learned when I was actually out of this country with a team called birding. I didn't know, but you need the skill to take tourists to go and be able to look at birds, butterflies, and there's a lot of money in that, but how many people have the skill to make money out of this kind of thing?
That brings me to the question that I would like Eddie to answer. How much are you doing as World Skills Uganda and maybe other partners to sensitize the youth, the young people, about these opportunities and about those skills? I still emphasize, you're talking about those skills that they can be able to take up.
Okay, thank you so much. In awareness, of course, as I told you, skills competition is part of the awareness, because within the competitions we have what we call competition and the forums, the skill forums. So the skill forums invite all the communities to come and hear what the experts are saying about those skills. We also do exhibitions. Now, in the exhibitions, we invite also the community to come and exhibit what they are able to do. Not only students, we invite everyone. And when they bring the things they have created, we are able to admire, and the youth are also able to admire. But also, more importantly, institutions now are going to young primary schools, secondary schools, and inform them about these available skills. But also, I think there is more to be done by government, by other collaborators, to make it more, as you said, it is a miss, to make it more open to everyone. Yes, but of course there's also a challenge of affordability. The issue of loan schemes has not gone down to these vocational training skills. It only looked at diploma and degree programs. But if I would remind you that in Uganda, there are many students at the university level than those in technical school institutions. Yes, more than 186,000 are in university, while there are only about 120,000 in the technical schools. And what we are building is an inverted pyramid, because we need more technicians, those who can build from the ground, and then we need few supervisors, and people who have degrees are required to be supervisors. Yes, so they're supervising who? Themselves, because they are the majority. So they have no jobs, they are unemployed. Yes, we have a program which we call Uganda Uganda Refugee Employment Opportunity Project, which is also employing the hosts Ugandans. But what we have realized is that people can be able to get a skill in just 3 months. Short courses.
3 months.
3 months. Last time we were overwhelmed when a 3 months graduate competed with 1 year full-time course graduate, and he beat him in the competitions. Moreover, already you were there. Yes, so meaning that what we have been lacking in our institutions is what I have called M: materials, machines, and the manpower.
Materials, machine, and manpower.
Yes, those are the 3 major things that we are missing in our training institutions. Because under this program, the materials are provided.
Okay.
We have a German donor who is providing enough materials before even the course begins. The manpower, we are looking at people who have the skills, not looking at people who have qualifications. No, we are employing only those who have the technical skills that we are going to train. And 90% of the time, they are on work. So that is how they are able to gain those skills. But on top of the 3 months that they have been in the institution training, we are adding more 2 months for internship. So they go also to the employers or to the enterprises and get those more, actually I could say, soft skills. Skills like handling customers. Skills like how do you bargain?
In fact,
how do you bargain?
The post-skilling.
Yes.
Most of the people who have been skilled have an issue there. They have the skills, some have been given even the machines, and they don't know where to get started from. They make products, they don't know where to sell them. So if you don't, again, equip them with the skills to handle clients and also managing the business, financial literacy on how to manage the finances. I think that is also very important.
Yes, that is very important. But as you have also maybe known, that we have put those programs in the curriculum. But you'll find that after somebody has studied, cannot really pick up very quickly. So it is better when he's doing it. For example, if you're teaching somebody entrepreneurship, then you're talking about business, then let there be business. So we have, say, the cookery department, and the people in the cookery business, they are cooking the food and taking it to people to get money out of it. So when they go, that's when they feel, how do I even put a price on the meal? They started by say, my price is 20,000. They go to the field, nobody's buying it. So they come back. So there they are learning. So it goes now to 10,000. So when here they now create, how do we create a good meal and sell it at 10,000 instead of 20,000?
We are discussing reimagining youth skills in a post-COVID pandemic. Eddie, what are some of the relevant skills that the youth can take up, and basically what can the youth do to keep themselves busy as far as utilizing the skills is concerned during this pandemic, when they are home and even after the pandemic, because the world can never be the same?
Yeah, thank you so much. There are very many skills out there that are needed, that are being used during this pandemic. For example, I can say baking. Baking is a simple skill which can be learned in even say 2 weeks or a month. Crafts can bring a lot of money, not only from tourists, but also to from the local community.
This show is here to transform you as a young person, make you a better person, and again, make you involved in the development of this country. I will just give you 30 seconds to give your last remarks, and the same to Eddie.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. And our viewers, thank you very much for taking time to listen and I think understand what we are trying to say. We want to have positive energy. I'm trying to encourage the youth never to degrade yourself, never to look down upon yourselves. There is nothing that is not possible. Once you have the determination, everything is possible. There are very many examples of people who have come from nowhere and they have become real entrepreneurs and they are rocking this world.
Thank you so much, Jason. And Eddie, just 30 minutes.
Yes, thank you so much. I want to appeal to the youth, because most of the youth are not working, and this is a problem to this country. I want every youth to begin thinking, what can you be able to do in this pandemic and even post-pandemic? Why do you keep at home waiting for your father or your mother or your parents to bring you food on the table every day, and for a week, for a month, and so on? So think of what to do. And even the government has come up with so many programs, like the Yoga program. They are giving out money to people who have started something, and they bring back that money. The government has put in some money in some banks. We can get money from there when the business has started. So the home, do they call them home businesses?
Yes.
Should now be starting now. This is the time to flourish home businesses. People at home, they are not being maybe beaten, as you are saying, police is beating us, is doing what? Home businesses are working, moving on. Okay. And you call somebody, he comes and pick whatever you have done, and yes, we'll go with it. So that's what I can say. And I want also to thank our TVET department for accepting us to come here, and also for the work they are doing. But they need now to reimagine what institutions are going to do post-pandemic, and even during this pandemic. We are now closed. For how long are we going to remain closed? And what are we doing during this closure? Yes.
Thank you so much, Eddie. We are discussing reimagining youth skills in the post-COVID pandemic. Look at things that you can do to be able to survive and make a living during this pandemic, during the lockdown, and even after the lockdown. Life will not remain the same, and look at how you can transform your life, not just staying home and waiting for what will come tomorrow. Try to do something today and you determine what will happen tomorrow. This show is proudly sponsored by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps, Office of the President. We thank you so much for giving us this support that enables us to be on air and keeping inspiring the young people. My name is Ivan Tumukunde. I wish you a very good evening.
Youth of Purpose, brought to you by Uganda First.
On the journey of AGOA, one of the things that first happened was to train over 2,000 girls.
So there were many problems for investors at the time I joined Uganda Investment Authority. And our role was to identify them, go to government and say, you've got to change this.
In 1986, we had about 2,000 kilometers of what you would have called paved road, but in very sorry state.
I want to thank UBC that enables us to get these very important messages.
Showcasing where we were and how far we have come.
With the Kalanga Infrastructure Services Limited, we signed an implementation agreement where we are running 2 ferries, we're generating and distributing power to the entire Bugala Island, supplying clean piped water.
Even Enterprise Uganda, we started with 5 people. Today we're all over the country. When you are approached by UBC,
every week,
please make time and offer us the benefit of knowing where you came from, what you are doing, where you are headed to, so that we can all appreciate that things can be done.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Central Points when you deposit, send and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Patriotism is a feeling of love, devotion, and the willingness to sacrifice for one's country.
I say no to corruption because I put my country first. I choose peace over violence because I put my country first.
I love Uganda. I serve Uganda. I sacrifice for Uganda. I'm loyal to Uganda. I love myself.
Be patriotic. Uganda First. This message is brought to you by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps Uganda, Office of the President.